Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for XRP. Now what you see on the screen right now is the last video I posted, which was September 5th. Go back and watch that if you like. This was my primary count. I was looking for a 5 to 10% drop here, three-wave move to the upside to break this wave one high, then a drop for the C wave for a matching wave here for our A wave. Now, if we go to the chart today, you can see we followed that quite closely. We had this was September 5th. We had our drop right there, which was right to the golden zone, actually, our slight drop. We're looking for our three-wave move, ABC, to break the wave one high, and then our drop back down. As you can see, the target was a little bit higher. But if you follow Elliott wave correctly, as soon as we break that wave one high, you have to be high alert for this drop. So in a running flat, we can drop as soon as we break that wave one high. We can even drop at these levels. We just need to retrace 90% of this move to the downside. As soon as we break the high, it becomes a running flat or an expanded flat if we break that wave lower. But as of right now, that's the minimum requirement. So you have to be on high alert. So if you did catch that long last video, you should have been raising your stops as you go, because as soon as we break that high, we have the ability to collapse right now. Now this is funny when you discuss Elliott wave. People would say that was the SEC refiling of the lawsuit, right, with XRP. That's what caused that. But it's just always fascinating to me because we were projecting that well in advance, right? It's always weird when that happens. It's a mind fuck, if you will. But anyways, we're going to discuss where we go from here. I have a few different considerations, but I do believe we're coming to lower prices from now still. But in the future, we will be quite bullish, and I'll show you why if you watch to the end. But yeah, please go and watch my previous videos if you want some better understanding of Elliott wave, because I was projecting this three-wave move here for months and months. As soon as we got this move here, I was able to project this entire thing since August, and that was my primary count. So I'll show you my two counts I'm expecting right now. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick is golden zone trades. I mentioned I take these pretty much on the larger time frames when they become available. I got one on ICP a few months ago. I didn't catch this one on the golden zone, unfortunately, but if I went back, I would have taken it. But if you look at this move to the upside, this is the retracement zone here. The golden zone is 618. I put my stop at the 66. That's where the algorithms come in and try and support price, right? So the high frequency trading bots and stuff like that, that's where they always try to defend that area. So it's a very good risk reward. It's not really Elliott wave, even though that's one of our Fibonacci levels. It's one of those trades where you're trying to take the trade the same as the algorithms, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It just either works or it doesn't, you know. So I usually take those on larger time frames. Like these larger patterns is when I will take them. I didn't get this one, but the reason why you want to take them is if you risk 1% of your account there and you buy at the 618, stop is literally that tight, and you're able to ride. We'll say you just moved your stop up and you end up just getting stopped out somewhere around 60 cents when it dropped. That's literally 11% on your trading account, right? You would have gained 11% there if you risk 1%, right? So if your risk was $1,000, you would have made 11K right there just off that trade, right? That's why the golden zone trades are good. And I'm planning to take a golden zone trade over here, by the way, which is the entire move of wave one I have labeled for wave two right here. So that will be my trade in the future, and it either works or it doesn't. I'll take it or I'll take it and it works, or it doesn't, and then I'll try and re-enter if it fails. But we're talking very high prices. I'm going to all-time highs after this pivot if it holds. So those are very, very big trades, right? But again, I only risk like 1% on these, so, and we're talking, you know, very big trade setups. Anyways, let's talk about the count. So I have this off the low. This is the low end of a triangle. I'll show you that on the larger view at the end here, but have this as a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're tracking this move all the way to the upside. Again, go back and watch the videos. We got a lot of trades in here. And there's a couple ways I see this. It doesn't affect the decisions right now, but just the labeling of these structures. I mentioned many times how the wave 1 high can actually be over here. And if that's the case, I would see this as a complex correction, as a flat W wave, still there our X wave, and this would be our Y wave, as most likely a zigzag to complete our structure. W, X, Y. I put a channel on there as well to our X wave, and that would be around the 1-to-1 here at around 43 cents, 44 cents. If we come down to the 1-to-1, that's where our wave W equals our wave Y. But we don't necessarily have to get there. So invalidations of this wave 2 is this E wave at 38.23 cents. So if you are looking for any sort of suggestions for deciding how you trade, all trade setups, the stop should be out there. So if you're a swing trader looking to take entries in here, in my opinion, not financial advice, that's where I would have my low no matter what. But if you're a scalp trader like me, try and get the best entries, there's much bigger opportunities within here. So as of right now, looking for a 3-wave move here. And if we take the length of our A wave off the B wave, our 1-to-1, if this B wave holds, you see right here, it's right at that 1-to-1 as well, where Y equals W. So you can see that zone. So that seems to be quite the area for confluence, and that's the 786 retracement as well of this wave 1, which is right here. So that's where the most confluence zone is, around 42, 44 cents. So if you're looking to make the decision to go long for the larger view, stop would go there. Not financial advice, just giving you an idea of what I would do, and I'd be going for all-time highs from there. Now, my plan personally is to buy at the golden zone. So what I do is I'll go between log and linear chart, and this retracement here is the wave 1 high. So where we look for our wave 2s after a wave 1 impulse, which we have over here as labeled, is between the 50% retracement and the 786. So this level, the 618, the 786. So if I were playing this as a swing trade, I'd be buying a third of my orders at each one of those levels, stop at the low. That's how I would do it. But because I'm trying to get a larger position size, I'm looking for the retrace after a impulse and the 618 retracement. So my first trade myself is going to be like this at the 618 golden zone. I'll go between linear for my buy. So that would be at 48.78. And I'd go to log scale for my stop. So that will actually be my entry, a little higher. I go with the higher price of the two. You can see linear scale is higher price than log scale. So that will be my entry. My stop will be the further away of the two, which is the log scale. So my entry will be right here. My stop will be log scale. So if that does not work out, I'd be looking at the 1-to-1 area. So let's talk about what shapes I'm looking for. As of right now, looking for a zigzag ABC, that 1-to-1 extension there at 43.8 cents, 43.6 cents, sorry. But my alternative is that this is a 335 as just a regular flat, which is a 3 where we break the high, and a 5-wave move. This would most likely be a diagonal, which is a 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 for our ending diagonal. And I'll show you those. So we'll get rid of that. And that is like so. This all becomes the ABC. And I didn't draw this on yet. This is where we might just hit the golden zone. So my target for my third wave in the C wave, remember we're trying to make 5 waves in a diagonal in a series of 3s. My first target is the 618, get some overlap like so. That would be my ideal structure. Pull that up a little bit. We want contracting trend lines. Ideally, we get overlap between wave 4 and wave 1, and then we get our 5th as well. So my targets here is take the length of wave 1, extend it off of the wave 2, looking for the 618 extension. Just right here at 47.91. We get our 3-wave move back for our 4th, overlap wave 1, 3-wave move down as well. Hold this golden zone for my first trade setup. And if we come through and eat through that, that's fine. We repull the pivots from wave 3. And remember, wave 5 can't be longer than wave 3. So if I get stopped out and it's still valid and we get a recovery, this is where I'd take a re-entry right here. Stop at this low, right? So it's based on the price action as it comes out. But right now in a C wave, this is what I'm projecting. First target, 48 cents. Come back for our 4th, basically double bottom or just come 1 tick lower to that 618 and defend, and the algorithms, trading bots hop in and help us on our trade. So after this, we're looking back to the upside for a larger 3rd wave, which eventually would take us to all-time highs. So that's my plans for these trade setups. First one is the golden zone, which would be a massive one if it worked out. Second one would be if that one doesn't work out, wait for a recovery, like a V bottom, look for a micro 5-wave move, even down to the 3-minute. Nice little ABC pullback, get my entry there, stop at this low. That wouldn't be as good in the long run, but then I'd also leverage up as we move to the upside. So that's my plan for these 2 setups. And we do have to discuss what happens if we move back to the upside, right? I mean, this is just ugly. For the bulls, I mean, currently. Great for the bulls long term, but from this exact spot, that is ugly, man. Diagonal, nope. Looks like an ABC to the upside, 3-wave move. The only way I would expect us to make an attempt to the upside would be if this ends up making some sort of running flat and we still get that Y wave, just this correction continues. We can even come a little higher and then come down, but this is not bullish. Just seems way too likely that we're going to take this liquidity under this low, this liquidity under this low, this liquidity under this low, and hopefully defend this one. That should run through those stops pretty quickly. So it'd be nice to get that 3-wave recovery, come back down. On the RSI, we'd most likely get divergence between, we'd go on a larger time frame here, but, smaller time frame. We'd be looking for divergence between these waves. Might get a little bit of recovery here, get divergence at least between the 3rd and the 5th wave in the diagonal scenario. And if we get the Y wave, and this is just an ABC as a Y wave, we wouldn't get divergence. We'd most likely just make some sort of V bottom in that scenario. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Oh, I told you I would show you on the larger time frames what we're looking for. Let me get rid of all this. Okay. This is what we've been tracking for as long as I have posted about XRP. And that is, we have had a multi-year triangle, A, B, C, D, E. Now, after our triangle, which is right here in the top left in Elliott wave terms, we get our thrust to the upside. That E wave is defended, and we continue the previous trend, which was to the upside. We're going all the way back to like 2018, 2019, right? The high's over here. So if this pattern does play out, that's an if, this E wave should get defended, 38.23 cents, and invalidation of the full triangle is back at this C wave at 28.72. But all these bullish setups I am talking about would be invalidated here for the moment. But as of right now, see this as our wave 1, very extended wave 2 as a running flat, which is a very bullish pattern if we get the move to the upside. And we're looking for a third wave, which eventually would get to all-time highs, 4 and 5, and off we are to the races. All right, guys, so that's it for XRP. Make sure to follow. I'll be updating this more on the regular since we're getting close to completion of our pattern, and I will see you on the next one.